maybe they would have made it past the 100 Asians anyways. But the problem is, by having this in the first place, creates that question mark over everybody's head. That Asian kid who didn't get into Harvard is now questioning, is it because of those 60 black people who were picked over me because this policy exists in the first place? And then the black people who get in are wondering, why did I get in? Is it because of that policy that favors me and the tiebreaker, like you're explaining? It's an unfair practice overall. If Harvard turns into 60% Asian, I really don't give a shit. Like, I really don't. My issue isn't that. My issue is the concept of having that be a reason why you are accepted at all. So I hear what you're saying as far as the percentage. Yeah, there's already 1,100 Asians that are going there, but like, I think there's this image that because Jim Crow existed, we were all in this abject poverty in the South. When the reality is that there were black businesses, there was thriving black markets, there were black bus stations. They had an entire economy. Granted, they were forced to have their entire economy, but even in the face of government oppression, they created their entire economy. Universities that they created, they did all of these things in spite of the discrimination that was happening. So it's not that they're starting from zero, right? It's that they're now being allowed to access the entire market like they should have. And everybody is allowed to access the entire market. So it is not the fault of the black bus company that had their own black bus company that went under because another better bus company that came into place. Should we have a worse bus company just so we have a black face that exists? Or should we have a better bus company? Should we have better products because there are better people that exist within this country? So I'm saying that any sort of discrimination is bad, especially when it's revolving around something you have no control over, your skin color. And us having like this, percentage per capita, doing all of that simply based off of how, the ethnicity of someone or the color of the skin or whatever it may be, to me, just dives even further into the lesson that it dives back into the lesson that we were supposed to learn, is that we shouldn't be doing this. And we shouldn't be counting skin color. We shouldn't be counting how many of this and how many of that. We shouldn't be doing that. That was actually the problem in the first place. And now we think that we can course correct and do some sort of reverse discrimination by discriminating against someone else, when the lesson is that discrimination is bad, period. And so I hear exactly what you're saying, and that may be some people's arguments as well, that, hey, it gives a leg up to these people. But discrimination is bad. Discrimination was bad when it hurt black people. It's bad when it hurts Asian people. It's bad when it hurts white people. Discriminating against something like someone's skin color, someone's ethnicity is bad, full stop. That's to me, that's it. Like, if there are less black people that make it into Harvard, well, guess what? Black people need to work harder and do what the Asians are doing. That's quite literally what humanity has done. They've looked at people who are doing great and often mimic with the behavior that they're doing, right? Rather than saying, well, I feel bad because of stuff that you didn't personally go through, but somebody who happens to look like you from generations ago, what they went through. And you're saying that these are qualified and capable people who are even being selected. So they don't need a leg up. Like, maybe they would have made it past the 100 Asians anyways. But the problem is, by having this in the first place, creates that question mark over everybody's head. That Asian kid who didn't get into Harvard is now questioning, is it because of those 60 black people who were picked over me because this policy exists in the first place? And then the black people who get in are wondering, why did I get in? Is it because of that policy that favors me and the tiebreaker, like you're explaining? It's an unfair practice overall. And I think with stuff like affirmative action, with stuff like diversity, equity, inclusion, all these little things that we're trying to do to manipulate society based off of something as arbitrary as the pigmentation in someone's skin, I think this is like the drips and drabs of going backwards in American history to do the things that we were supposed to learn not to do anymore.